All right. Hey, everybody. Let's get this party started. All right, that was pretty exciting. I feel like I'm getting a little savvy here. I was able to display the intro. I was a little nervous about that, but I am grateful that we have got it done. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my PowerPoint presentation so we can get started. I do want to be mindful of the time. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for jumping in on this presentation. I am Dr. Sheniqua Johnson, aka Sheniqua Inspires, and today we are going to talk about how to maximize your message from book to podcast. Thank you everyone for joining in. I've got my moderators on the line. Thank you so much, ladies, for helping out today. This has been a fantastic weekend thus far. We have had so many presenters. I hope you all have your notebooks and your pen and you have been jotting down all of the nuggets that each presenter has been bringing. We are here today with the AuthorTube Writing Conference 2025. We've got to put that in there. And so make certain that you check out in the description box. There is a link so that you can get your attendee package. They put together this amazing package for you. So I want to make certain you get it. So make certain that you check out the links inside of the description box. Hello to you all. I see the comments coming in and I thank you for tuning in. But I do want to be mindful of my time because your girl has a tendency to get into telling her stories and then that's the end of it and the time is done. So I want to make certain that I am mindful of the time and I'm going to try to keep my eye on it. All right, so let's jump in. How many of you are ready? Now, I do know I have some people who are on my page normally, and I say hey to you all. Thank you to my faithful regulars who stop in and tune in to see what thus saith the Lord inside of Sheniqua Inspires. So I welcome you all. I welcome all of my new friends, and I'm hoping that you will enjoy this content and you will hit that little subscribe button and so that you become a part of the family. So today I've got my teacher cap. I wear many, many hats, speaker, author, you name it. I'm a registered nurse by profession, but today I've got on my teacher hat and I want to teach you all a little bit of something about how to maximize your message. So we're going to go from book to podcast. So if you have a book, this presentation is definitely for you. If you are in the process of writing a book, don't worry. This is still the place for you to be. If you haven't thought about writing a book, I'm hoping by the end of this, you are going to feel so inspired and ignited that you want to write a book just so that you can turn it into a podcast. Before we get too deep into all of the inner workings, again, big shout out to AuthorTube Writing Conference, to all of the attendees, for all of the volunteers who are tuning in. And we also want to give a big shout out to the sponsors. If you have put on an event, you know how crucial sponsorships are and how they help to support your mission. So we give a big shout out to WTC Creatives and Later Press for their contribution to making this beautiful summit kick off and go like a well-oiled machine. So we give them a big shout out. So who am I? Who am I? Who am I? I am Dr. Sheniqua Johnson, aka Sheniqua Inspires. And you know what? All the hats I wear. I am the CEO of Stronger Through Faith Media as well. So what I do with Stronger Through Faith Media is I have a team and we help writers publish their books. So they get to impact and empower the masses. When they come and partner with us, we help to get their message to millions. So that's a little snippet about what we do at Stronger Through Faith Media. We also do consultations, helping individuals get their podcast started. Not only do we do podcast consultations, we've got some connections that we can hook you up with, but most importantly, we help you to leave a lasting literary legacy. So that means these books, these messages that you have in your heart, that they can go on and continue to live and lead and impact the nations, even when your time here on this earth is up. So we are grateful for the work of writers and authors. A little bit more about myself. I am the author of 15 books to date. And as of August, when we hit August, it's going to be 16 books. I said I wasn't going to push myself. I wasn't going to do any more, but it hit me. The opportunity came to me. So we're going to move up to 16. But as of now, I am the author of 15 books. And I tried to remember to bring a few of my babies to sit here as an example for you. But again, this is the work that I do. So I am an author. I know your plight. I know the struggles. I know the woes. And I am here to inspire you and to simplify this thing. It's not as difficult as people try to make it. In addition to being the CEO of Stronger Through Faith Media and being a writer myself, I am also a podcast host. Yes, you are right here on my podcast hub, Sheniqua Inspires on YouTube, and I am the host of 3. OMG, I didn't realize it was 3 of them. And I do it with ease. So I have 3 podcasts that are on my platform here on my YouTube channel, Sheniqua Inspires. The first is my baby. That's the one that we're rocking with, the Black Girl Encourage Her podcast, where I'm bringing in guests and we are sharing words of encouragement and inspiration and empowerment and usable tools and resources that is going to help you to go to that next level as a creative. And then I have Sisterly Sundays podcast, which we're probably going to talk a lot about on today because this is how this topic even came about. So we have Sisterly Sundays podcast. And believe it or not, every morning, Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on my YouTube channel, Sheniqua Inspires, I am the host of what's known as Morning Walk and Talk with Sheniqua Inspires. Listen, I don't know where I find the time. I don't know where I find the energy, but the content is there. So I don't want you in this space saying, well, I can't come up with all of that content. That's just too much. I promise you it is super easy. And if I can do it, you definitely can do it because I got a lot of things that are going on in my life between household and raising grownups and all of these good things. Listen, I find the time and I do it with ease. So if that sounds good to you, I want to show you how to create the content literally has created itself. So you don't even have to worry about where am I going to get this topic of conversation from. Trust me, you're already having it, and it's just a matter of us displaying it to the world. Now, I'm also a writing coach, and I've got a couple of my authors on the line. I say hey to you all, the Stronger Through Faith family. We are in the building as always. But guess what? I help my authors. Not only can people come to me with a completed manuscript, they can come to me with an idea. And I work with them personally, one on one, to flush the concepts out. So I'm honored to be able to share space with people to help them to build their dreams, and to create these legacies, because that was what was important to me. It's about creating an impact far beyond where I can ever go. My books have literally gone into countries I've never laid my feet in. So that is the beauty, the power of being an author. And a podcast opens similar doors, if not more doors, and it's accessible to many. So I can show you how to do that. I love being a writing coach and helping people to execute their gifts. I'm also an international TEDx speaker. I tell you, I be all over the place. I'm busy doing a little bit of everything. But when the strategy is simple, when it's easy to execute, where it's not taking a lot of my brain power and time, it's not very consuming, I can get it all done. In addition to that, I'm a facilitator and an instructor. So I say to you all, welcome to Sheniqua Inspires. I'm the brand behind that as well. So I'm over here wearing multiple hats. But today we're going to focus on how to maximize your message. Listen, you already talking, you already have something to say, and you've done that by writing your book. But guess what? We got to maximize it. We don't want it to sit stagnant and sit, just in the box. So if you sell out of the trunk of your car, we want to take your message outside of the trunk of your car. If you're selling your books on platforms like Amazon, yeah, we want to go even beyond that. Even though we know Amazon has a large reach, but how do we maximize it? How do we get in front of our audience so we can make this? Because it is about the impact that you're making. It's about your message. So how can we do that with, again, the least amount of effort, the least amount of, frustration? How can we get it done? So today, that is what I'm going to show you. I am going to talk to you about how do we go from having a book to making a podcast. That's where we're going to go. So why is this even important? It's important. Podcasting matters because it is our way of expanding our audience. So if I have something to say, I have an epiphany. I watch something on TV. I'm Netflixing and chilling over the weekend. I see something profound. It sparks a thought to me, and I have it in my head. Now, it's great that it's in my head. It's moving me. It's motivating me. It's making me feel good. But what's next? How can I maximize that? How can I get that message to millions? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm probably going to grab my cell phone and I'm going to call my friend up and I'm going to say, hey, girl, I just had this grand epiphany. Let me tell you about it. Okay. Now, if it just sits between me and my friend, that's a small audience. But what if you say something so impactful, so profound, now your friend that you tell goes and tells another friend, and they three-way call somebody in, and now you get to tell more people. And maybe they say, hey, let's get on a Zoom call and invite people to come in so they can hear more about it. We can talk more about it. Now you are expanding your audience. So it starts out with an audience of one, and now it has grown. And that is what podcasting does. It takes one thought, one idea, one concept, and it turns it into a multifaceted tool that can be used to get your message to the masses. It also helps you to build a deeper connection. Listen, I am a registered nurse by profession. I've been in the healthcare space for over 20 years. Many people know me by the name Sheniqua Johnson RN. They know me as a nurse. In fact, when I first started in, the World Wide Web, that was my brand. My brand was my title, Sheniqua Johnson RN. But there was so much more to me. And oftentimes when I opened my mouth, it was more than just nursing stuff. I wasn't teaching you about diabetes. I wasn't showing you how to give an injection of insulin. I wasn't doing all of those nursing things. So there was more to me. So I had to break away from that title, Sheniqua Johnson RN. And then when I went back and got my doctorate degree, I'm like, well, Sheniqua Johnson RN is not really going to be befitting when you're now Dr. Sheniqua Johnson. So I decided to change the brand to Sheniqua Inspires, because no matter what the name is, the message still the same. So podcasting is a way for people to know that inner side of you, that deeper connection, and not just the titles of the things that you do. It also reinforces your author brand. Listen, if you are an author, come on. If you are an author, you have a duty. And listen, this is what we do at Stronger Through Faith Media. I have had clients who literally just want to produce their book. That's it. Their book gets published and they go on with life. They go on raising the kids. They go on climbing the career ladder. They go on. But then your message in your book just sits there. When you decide to publish your writing, you now have a responsibility. And that responsibility says, I want people to get this message. Like, you didn't just write this book just to write this book. And in fact, this example, this book is There's an Angel in Heaven That Calls Me Auntie, Finding Strength Through Loss, Living, and Legacy. When my niece Sheniqua was killed in 2018, I had all of these emotions. I had all of these feelings. I had all of these anguishes. So I put it in a book, and I made her my co-author too. So now her legacy, when people put her name in, Shaquasia Lakia Hodge, when they put her name in, they see a lasting legacy. It's written in the book. But when I wrote this book was not only me pouring out my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions, but it now becomes a tool. It now becomes a guide for someone else who's grieving. Maybe they're an auntie as well. Maybe they're a mother. Maybe they're a grandmother or grandfather. But now there's hope, the hope that I express, the pain that is relatable to many is now in a book. And now it can go to the places to heal the hearts. So when you write a book, you have a responsibility to get this message out. So the message of hope and healing and growing through your grieving process is in this book. There's an angel that calls me auntie. There's an angel in heaven that calls me auntie. So there's a duty. So it reinforces your author brand. It gets people to see how versatile you are. This book, The Power of Choice, Prioritizing Well-Being in a High-Stress World. Come on, somebody. She went from grieving to well-being. From grieving to well-being. We've got some more books here. Creating a social media presence. I mean, we all sitting here on social media. How do you make it impactful? How do you take your message and maximize it? Well, once I wrote the book, Creating a Social Media Presence, now it shows people how versatile I am. Oh, that's Dr. Sheniqua. Oh, she talks about grieving. Oh, she talks about wellness. Oh, she talks about building your brand and working on social media smartly. She's got all of these different facets to her. So each story that you have becomes a part of your brand, and you have a duty to make certain you get those messages out. Podcasting also matters because it helps your audience to achieve transformation. I don't know what kind of books you write. I don't know what kind of books you want to write. But what's the goal? What's the bottom line? Is it just to make money? If it's just to make money, then go do you. But majority of the individuals that come to work with me in Stronger Through Faith Media, there's a message. There's an impact that they want to make. They want to inspire something, no matter what it's like. I've got a couple of my authors on the line. Dr. V is a business coach, right? She helps those high achieving women. So in her books, Embracing Grit for Greatness, it's teaching those high achieving women how to transform, how to go from just looking good on paper to making it a reality in your world. Another one of my authors, Carol Pompey, is on the line. She is the author of Change of Habit and Colors of My Heart. She loves to paint. So she literally put it in a book. Why? Because the transformation is helping individuals to do art therapy, to express their thoughts and their feelings through art. So what's the transformation? And not only does a book do that for you, a podcast pushes it out there even more. So here's one of those frequently asked questions. Well, Dr. Sheniqua, do I have to love speaking to become a podcaster? I know, you're a TEDx speaker. You like to get up here. You like to speak. You like to talk. But that's not really me. I'm shy, right? Everybody says that I'm shy. But guess what? You don't have to love to speak. You simply have to have a message to share. And I'm going to show you how the message that you write about can literally just transform over into a podcast, and it does the speaking for you. So here in this presentation, I'm going to show you simple steps to turn your book into a podcast. And as a bonus, I'm going to share with you how to go vice versa. So if you have a podcast already, but you don't have a book, you are missing out on there's an audience that you're missing out on. So this conversation goes both ways, either from book to podcast, podcast to book. Either way, it's going to satisfy that need. So let's get into it. Think of your book as your blueprint. Every chapter could be an episode. Every lesson could be a theme. Your story now becomes your authority. Your voice now becomes your power. I don't want you to ever take my word for it. We live in an age where we got to fact check everything. I just grabbed the book. I've got 4 books here in front of me. I just grabbed the first one. This is The Power of Choice. Right? Prioritizing well-being in a high-stress world. I'm going to literally show you how to do this. So you have your book. I'm going over here to my table of contents, right? This is my table of contents. The first, it starts off with a stress assessment. I can do a podcast on stress awareness, right? We have a stress awareness month. I think that's in April. I could do a whole podcast series. I could have people coming in as a guest and talking about their stress levels and how stressed they are and what they did to improve it and what do they love to do. Just from the first section in my book, which is a stress assessment. We didn't even get to the chapters yet. The next one is a dear reader. I'm pouring my heart out. I'm sharing words of encouragement. I'm sharing words of hope to them. I could literally just go on my podcast platform and read it. I can literally hit the record button and I can read it. Are you feeling trapped in a world that demands your constant attention, pulls you in 1,000 directions, and leaves you exhausted? Can that not be a podcast episode? And I didn't even get to the chapters yet. So I'm showing you how easy this can be. The next is the intro, right? Same premise. But let's go to chapter 1. So again, we're in the book, The Power of Choice. Chapter 1, understanding stress and its impact on you. I can either do a single episode going into each individual component of it. And inside the chapter, it's broken down into different sections. So there's like subsections in the chapter. So chapter 1, understanding stress and its impact on you. It has physical effects, mental effects, emotional effects, sources of stress. Those are episodes. Those are episodes. Those are themes. Well, Dr. Sheniqua, you knew that was in that book. Okay, let's go. Let's go to the creating a social media presence. Oh, I have my little sticky notes on it. I give myself permission to be great. I have affirmations all over the place. Creating a social media presence. Chapter 1. What's the big deal with social media anyway? You can bring in your friends, those who say, oh, I hate social media, those that say, I love social media. You literally can bring them on as guests, and y'all can talk about what's the big deal about social media. You can talk about what people are doing wrong, what people are doing the right, the goods, the bads, the ugly, the indifferent. You can talk about it all. And it's literally peeling from the chapters in your book. There's one chapter in this book, chapter 3 is called Getting Started. You can literally teach people how to get started on social media. I break it down Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Now, mind you, when I wrote this book, I wrote this book because I was a speaker at the Nurse Boss Summit. In fact, I was a speaker, and my topic was creating a social media presence. So not only am I going to get up in front of a conference room of 40, 45 women and men, in healthcare, I put it in a book. So that was me maximizing my message. So my speaking engagement turned into my book. My book can then go into a podcast where I can keep this knowledge, this information going. So your books are literally your blueprint. It's your voice that will literally speak for you without you putting forth thought, effort, energy, any of those things that we love to say stresses us out. Because remember, we're prioritizing our well-being in a high stress world. So we're not going to get stressed out over this. We're just going to keep it real simple. So from page to mic, let me do my time check. Good. Okay, good. From page to mic, repurpose, reframe, relate, release. I should do repurpose, reframe, relate, release. Relax, relate, release. If you're not old enough for that reference, my apologies. But for those of you who are in my bracket, you're like, yes, girl, we understand that. But repurpose, it's simply taking what you already have and using it in a different way. Speaking engagement. I repurposed it to a book. It can be repurposed into a podcast. Reframe, using the same content, just in a different way. I do that a lot with this book, The Power of Choice. So if someone wants me to come and to speak on their platform, and let's just say their conference is about wellness. So this is the perfect book, Prioritizing Well-Being in a High-Stress World. But maybe the conference is more geared not to physical wellness, but to mental wellness. So what I will do is I'll take the power of choice and I will turn it into more of a mindset message. I can change the subtitle, right? I can change it, take it as a mindset. Maybe it's in leadership, because this is actually why I wrote this book. For when I walked away from my six-figure salary job, this was my declaration. And I actually wanted this book to go back into the corporate spaces to teach people that they don't have to up and quit to find their well-being, to get their mental rest from all of the exhaustion that they experience. So this title alone can go into leadership rooms. It can go into boardrooms. It can go into doctors' offices. The power of choice. Now, if your book title doesn't sell like that, you probably should have come and worked with Stronger Through Faith Media. I'm just saying, because that's what we do. We strategize, we brainstorm together, and we make the magic happen. So reframing, relate. Let it connect with your audience. Let the message meet the audience where they are. Most people, when they write their book because they have something to say. Most people, when they start their podcast, is because they're like, look, I have something to say. But what if You made it relatable, where it literally meets people where they're at. Like my show, The Black Girl, Encourage Her. Okay, I want to give you some words of encouragement, but it literally meets the audience where they're at, where their needs are. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. And then the release. Spread your message, your purpose, and your passion with millions. That's what From Page to Mic does. That's what it does. Let's keep going. Your essential equipment. I'm certain some of the speakers today have hit upon this. They've made things very simplified. They tell you what you need. I don't want you to overcomplicate anything. I do not have a fancy studio. I don't have a bunch of fancy equipment. So I don't want you not to start because you think it's too complicated to start. I have a microphone. So the basic equipment, the essential equipment, gets you a microphone. And most of the time, people are using their cell phones to do their podcast recordings anyway. So there it is. The microphone on your phone becomes what you're using. So get you a mic. Find a hosting platform. If you're like, oh my goodness, Sheniqua, I don't know which hosting platform. What should I use? What should I use? What are we on? Why do you think it's AuthorTube Writing Conference 2025? Where are we? It's literally right here on YouTube. You can do your podcast on YouTube. You don't have to start at, with the iHeartRadio and Amazon Music and all of these other platforms. You literally can start where you are. And if you're on YouTube watching this, why you don't have a podcast? It's easy peasy. And in fact, my morning walk-in talks with Sheniqua Inspires, that started out as a Facebook message. I was just on Facebook. I used to go out and on my plight to well-being, I was walking. All the books are falling from my bookshelf. I was walking and I had the camera on for accountability, and it just became the thing to do. When I started streaming it on YouTube, YouTube created it into a podcast because it literally runs every day, Monday through Friday. So it was an easy transition over to a podcast. So get yourself a mic, a hosting platform. You can do editing, right? Do you? My morning walk-in talks, I don't edit. They are raw. They are uncut, unfiltered. They are whatever's going on. I'm sitting in my bed, listen, it is what it is. You can focus on getting the lights, the camera, the backdrop, all of that good stuff, but all it's doing is holding you from delivering your message. And if your message is impact, you need to get out of your own way. Because the message, even with all of these lists of essential equipment, the message is the most important. And if you've already written a book, the message is already done. You just got to get out of your way. Get on YouTube. You're already on YouTube. You already have a page set up, and make the magic happen. Remember, consistency is the key, not perfectionism. Not perfectionism. Perfectionism will hold you stagnant and it will keep you not moving. Always think about the person who your podcast is for. Always think about the individual who your book is for. And once you make them the top priority, not your to-do list, not how tired you are, not all of the things that you have to take care of and all of your roles and responsibility, the person who needs your message really doesn't care. They really don't care. I don't care how much you got going on. I need you to speak truth. I need you to shine your light into my world of darkness. I am sinking. I am on the brinks. I need to know how to create a podcast. I need to know how to create a book because I've got all of this stuff inside of me that I need to let it out. I don't care that you don't have the right lighting in your house. I don't care if you don't have a mic in your budget. At this moment in time, I am hanging on a thread here. And you are my lifeline. You are my hope. You are my inspiration. Where are you? Don't let your audience cry out. Where are you? Where are you? You're in a small box. I know I can't afford your book. I wish I could, but I can't. I don't have a budget, but I'm sinking. I need you. Get your message to the masses. A podcast is an easy way to do it. Let's talk about your format and your flow. What structure fits your message? You can do it however you like. It's your show, it's your world. Figure it out. It's not that hard, it's not that complicated. Do you want to do it solo? Do you want to get on here and do book reads? You can literally read every chapter of your book. This one has 7 chapters. This book has, this one has 10 chapters. I could be here all day reading a chapter of my book. This one has, 11 chapters. We don't even want to talk about this one. This one's where the story comes in. This one has, 25? I think this one has 25. Yep, 25 chapters. You can do it solo if you want. Or you can interview people. Everybody loves to talk and to share. You won't have a problem. You can join some of those groups on Facebook and you can find a guest real easy. So you can do interviews. You can interview everybody in your family. You can bring all your children down. You can bring your coworkers in. You can interview people. You can tell a story. You can teach people how to do something. You decide how long the podcast is going to be. Is it 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes? Is it an hour? You decide. Is it a series? Is it weekly? Is it daily? You get to decide. So you get to make it fit into your world. And I know social media tells us we got to post every day at such and such time. Oh, we're so under these constraints. Guess what? Throw it out. You control this. If you want to talk once a week, talk once a week. If you want to talk every day, Monday through Friday like I do, then talk every day, Monday through Friday like I do. But guess what? Get out of your way, make a decision, figure out your format, your flow, and let's move out of your way because your audience needs you. Here's some examples of the podcast. Now, my main podcast is The Black Girl Encourage Her, but we do spinoffs. We've done The Black Girl Write Her, The Black Girl Motivate Her, The Black Girl Inspire Her, The Black Girl Pray Her, The Black Girl Heal Her. We've literally done it all. And even when we're under the Black Girl Encourage Her theme, we do specials. We've done the Entrepreneur Edition. We did the Nurse Boss Edition. We did a Men's Mental Health Edition. I mean, the possibilities are endless. You just got to decide to get out of your way. And if you're an author, you're already a step ahead of most because your content is literally already packaged together for you. So here's where this whole presentation came in. This was back in, time check, let's see. Okay, we're good. This was back in 2016. I was working with a business coach, and one of the advice that she gave me was you've got to become more visible. I had like 400 friends on social media, and Facebook was the place to be. All of the other outlets weren't really popping the way they are now. So I had 400 friends on Facebook, and she challenged me because I love a good challenge. She challenged me and she said, I want you to gain visibility. I want you to increase your friend list. And I was like, well, I don't know these people. She was like, it doesn't matter. You need to connect and network with individuals who are like-minded. That was the one challenge. Another challenge she said was, I want you to start being visible. I want you to share what it is that you do so people get accustomed to seeing you. And as a certified business coach, I 100% agree with that. And I often push my clients about their visibility. That's one of the reasons why we got this book, Creating a Social Media Presence, because we want to make an impact where we're visible. So it was about visibility. So what I started was a Facebook Live called Sisterly Sundays with Sheniqua. I was going to do it on Sundays. I believe I started at 7:30. I think that's the way we were at the first. And I was going to give 7 minutes of motivation. I was scared. I had never got on camera and talking to people like that. So I said, all we're going to do is 7 minutes. That's as far as I'm committing myself to, is 7 minutes. So I'm on Facebook Live on a Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I was delivering 7 minutes of motivation. I mean, I was pulling things from the sky. What did I like? And I just was giving 7 minutes. As long as it was 7 minutes, we were good. But as I got comfortable with it, that 7 minutes turned into 30 minutes. That 30 minutes turned into 45 minutes. And I'm rocking and people are coming in the chat and we're chatting and conversating back and forth. And it became a vibe that people were looking for and they would flock to. What did I do? Well, I got tired. After about 4 or 5 years, I was like, okay, the impact is not going anywhere. It's literally sitting right here on Facebook. So 5 years of doing it, it was not moving. It was not growing. Nobody was buying the products and all the other goods that I was, talking about. So I was like, I got to get this in front of more people. It's not that the message is bad. It's that I've tapped out on where I'm at. I've got to get my market. I got to get more eyes on me. Well, how do you get more eyes on you? You've got to expand. You got to maximize it. And so here came Sisterly Sundays with Sheniqua, the book, volume 1. And because I'm a writer, when I was writing out what I wanted to say on the show, I was writing it on paper. I literally took my paper, my loose leaf papers, and I turned it into a book. This is volume 1. I have volume 2 sitting in queue and the content for volume 3 already done. Right? Because every time I do the pod, and then I turned it from just being a Facebook Live, then I got on the streaming platforms. And shout out to my friend Chris with Podcast Productions Lab. He actually helped me with getting it streamed on all of these different platforms, Buzzsprout, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and on YouTube. So he would do the editing. He would put the intro and the outro with it and make it sound all crisp and clear. And then there was a link. All I had to do was upload it into Buzzsprout and boom, 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 boom. It went all to other platforms. Easy peasy. Each episode that I did is literally a chapter in this book. And guess what? If I wanted to, I can start again. I don't have to do new content. See, you always think you got to do new content, that you got to come up with something new every time. Well, it sucks to be you if that's the way you think. Everything's got to be new. My business bestie's on the line. We said no new content. You're going to get this here old content. You can repurpose this. You can refurbish this. I can reproduce this, Sisterly, because now it's called Sisterly Sundays podcast, right? I dropped the name Sheniqua from it. But we can redo it all. We can repurpose it. We can tell the story in a different way. This was created a few years back. I could give a new spin on it. It's like a new edition. Right? When you're in school, the textbooks, you can't pass the book over to your friend because every year there's a new edition that comes out. Well, you can do a new edition on your books, your podcasts, whatever. So what's holding you back? What's holding you back? I literally had turned my book to a podcast, my podcast into a book. It goes both ways. It's not as hard as it seems when you have a strategy. Get you a launch plan. It looks a little something like this. You ready? Step 1, pick a name. Sisterly Sundays with Sheniqua, Sisterly Sundays podcast. The Black girl encourage her. The Black girl inspire her. The reason why we had so many different spinoffs is because I couldn't decide which name I wanted to go with. So we did one under the Black girl inspire her. We did one under the Black girl motivate her. We did one under the Black girl encourage her. And that's the one that just felt really, really good in my spirit. And so that's the one that became the main one. So you just got to get started. You don't even have to have it all the way figured it out. You can try it out. Pick a name. And I know coaches always talk about this niche, and it's so scary. Like, literally talk to you. Like, you are your niche. Like, stop making it overly complicated. Just think about yourself 5 to 10 years ago. What it is that you stood in need of? What kind of help did you need? What do you wish somebody would have told you? And whoop, there it is. There's your niche. Stop making it complicated. We're simplifying things because we want you to get started. And if it's easy for you to start, you can always build and grow as you learn more. Step 2, design your cover art. All of those designs, I went to Canva. Oh my God, free version, paid version, whatever you got, use it. And I meant to do it in this presentation. My apologies. I forgot to do it. I wanted to show you all of the different brands that I have, all of the different color arts. You can change it. If you want red and white today and purple and green the next, like whatever, like you're the only person committing you to a color is you. If you grow, as you evolve, as your brand changes, you can change the cover design as well. And then step 3, this is my favorite one, lock and load. All of my clients know this terminology, lock and load. Anything that we're doing it well. We're doing it, putting it on the planner. We're scheduling things out. We're not stressing ourselves out every minute, every hour to do it on the spot. We are locking and loading. That means you are getting them created in batch, and you are producing it and allowing it to go while you're sitting on a beach with your feet up, drinking your 5th pina colada in Aruba, Thailand, wherever you want to be, go once it's locked and loaded. So some people do live stream. That's great. Me, I'm a lock and load kind of girl. Y'all lucky you got me live today, because normally I am a lock and load. I will pre-record something in a heartbeat. And I actually do like the pre-record because then I can be in the chat box. Now I got to teach. I can't sit in the chat box. I'm going to have to look at the chat later. But for now, I am rocking it live. But guess what? When I do my podcast, The Black Girl Encourager, we lock and load. We interview 4 or 5 people in one day over the weekend, 4 or 5 people. And then we edit, we put it together, put it out there, and it's lock and loaded. Easy peasy. So let's talk about your audience. Again, you can do either way. You can do solo, you can do interviews, you can do whatever, however format you choose, you can do it. But guess what? When you're doing it, the best way to gain an audience is for people to share. So while you're watching this, you'll hear me say, make certain you hit the subscribe button and share. Why? Because when you share it out, now other people get to hear the message. Other people get the teaching. So again, we're maximizing this message, right? We're learning how to maximize the message. Well, asking people to share it out helps. So share. I say that at the end of all of my podcast episodes. Please make certain that you share, that you subscribe and share so that the message goes out. But another easy way for you to get and grow an audience is to have guests. Well, when your guests come on your show, they want their friends and their families to see them as this authority figure. So I'm bringing you on as a guest, and you know what? You're going to invite some of your friends. And when I say share and subscribe, maybe some of your friends will stick around, and then they'll introduce this podcast to their friends. And then it goes on and on and on. You don't have to spend money on ads. Listen, if you got a budget for it, do you? But really, I don't want you not starting because you're like, well, I don't have the money for ads. You can easily grow your audience. One, by asking people to share. Two, telling your current readers. So if you've got a mailing list of some people that have purchased your book, email them and say, hey, listen, I've got this podcast. Once they come on and watch the podcast or listen to the podcast, you then can ask them if they know anybody who would like to be a guest. So you don't even have to guest search. You don't even have to find these people. You literally can go to one person and say, hey, who do you know that would be great on a podcast? And the rest is history. Sure, we can use social media to promote, but guess what? If you don't have the visibility on social media, nobody's seeing it. And if nobody's seeing it, nobody knows to watch it. Nobody knows to buy the book because you don't have an audience, because you're stuck in your little cube with your 400 people who you can tell me their name, their date, and their address. No, I want you to get out and meet people. I want you to network with other people. If you see people in the chat box, I want you to, establish a relationship. I want you to follow each other so that you build an audience. You collaborate with other podcasters. I got a show, you got a show. Hey, let's be on each other's show. And so now you're cross promoting. Now you're gaining momentum. Now you're bridging the gap and you're meeting and connecting with new people. So the people are the last thing that you need to be worried about. The first person that you should be worried about is who the message is for. And once they are your focus, finding the audience, finding where they're at, who they hang out with, what spaces they're in, that will tell you how to get them in your room, in your space. But firstly, you want to get out of your own way and you want to start. You want to start with where you're at and with what you have. And shout out to my nephew in love, Raquan. We call him Saeed. And he was a guest on the Black Girl Encourage Her. That was actually the mental health edition for men's mental health. And my sister friend, Deborah Daniels, she was a guest on the Black Girl Heal Her when we did one of the spinoffs. So they brought their friends, and guess what? Their friends stuck around. And they're watching the new episodes that come out. So it's easy. Here's our recap. Identify your message. Outline your episodes from your book. We literally took the chapters in the book. We even started from the very, very beginning. Your intro, everything can be a podcast episode. We want to use simple tools. We don't want to be all complicated and spending all of our money and mad because we're not monetizing. That's a whole nother. But I do want you to make certain that you are getting started and you're not tripping all over your feet because of equipment. And then I want you to launch and I want you to grow. Because remember, consistency is the key. Consistency over perfectionism every day. Your people don't need you to be perfect. It's the fact that you have flaws that they are attracted to you in the first place. Nobody wants to be preached to by somebody who has no flaws. They've got no bruises. They have no scars. They ain't never been through nothing. They got silver spoons stuck in their mouth. Nobody wants to hear what they have to say. Or if they listen, they're listening from the sidelines, but it's the one who's been in the trenches. It's the one who's got sweat on their brow. It's the one who has been pushing through every adversity to still rise at the top. Those are the ones who they care about. They don't need you perfect. They need you just to get started and to get visible. So on the screen are again some of the examples. That's my brother. Shout out to my brother Lee Hodge. He was a guest on the Black Girl Write Her series. We had the Nurse Boss series that was running that coincides with the Nurse Boss Summit. So we had a lot of big things that were going on with that. So we are down to our final minutes, and I want to offer this special gift to you. I want you all to make certain that you stay connected with me, that you are, hey, Lee Hodge is on the line. Good having you here, bro. So I want to make certain that you are booking your strategy call. Look, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. It's not going to take all day, 15 minutes, because truthfully, I don't have all day. I don't have all day to sit on a phone and listen to you tell your story, who, what, when, where, and whys. No, if you want to be my client, then I got the time for that. But this is 15 minutes. Because otherwise you're going to get in your way. You're going to say, well, I don't have an hour to sit with Dr. Sheniqua. I know you don't have an hour. That's why it's 15 minutes. We get on a call together and we can talk about whatever ways to turn your book into a podcast. We can talk about how to get started writing your book. We can talk about how to market your message. We can talk about how to stay motivated on your journey podcasting, right? Because the guests are not coming. Nobody's listening. You only had two clicks, and now you all stressed out and worried and everything. So let's get on a call. So you can scan the barcode, or you can go to bit.ly/chat with STF, and that is stronger through faith. So bit.ly/chat with STF, and it is case sensitive. So the way you see it written out is the way it needs to be. And that's what the call will do. That's my special gift to you. As a parting message, I want you to understand something. It's not about me. It's not about you, but it's about them. It's about the one. And for everything that you've gone through, don't let it be for naught. Everything that you've survived. You had to pick yourself up after the divorce. You have been raising 6 kids by yourself. When you were sunk in grief, you had to find yourself again. You had to rediscover yourself. You tap into peace that surpasses all understanding at all times, because you know what? You grew up in chaos. Your story matters, and it's meant to be heard. Just like when you wrote a book, you said, well, who would buy my book? People are buying your book. Same is true with the podcast. Who's going to listen to my podcast? People are going to listen to your podcast. Trust me. When you have it on those platforms, it does the work for you. The masses will just somehow, you use the right keywords and all of the optimization, they will find you. You just need to be visible, because people need to hear your story. So I invite you to connect with me. Please make certain that you hit the subscribe button and you share this out with everyone you know who you think, you know what, you talk too much. You need to start a podcast. You need to start making some impact with all of this talk that you do. Send them this link so that they can take a listen and they can see how easy it is to go from book to podcast or from podcast to book. Either way you take it, it's easy enough. You can follow me on social media. I am Sheniqua Inspires across all platforms. I'm over there on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on YouTube. So you can follow me on any social media platform with Sheniqua Inspires. You can check out the website, strongerthroughfaith.com. You can schedule your free strategy session. And most importantly, I want you to connect with me in some way, shape, or form. And so I invite you to make certain that you hit the subscribe button. Send me a message, DM me, let me know what you enjoyed, what you need help with. But let's get connected with me so we can start to grow, and so that you can see how you can easily, with little effort, maximize your message. And that is the presentation. Big shout out to AWC. We are here with this writers conference for writers, book presenters. Yes, we are here. Let's see. Okay, so they're asking questions about the break. So again, make certain you get your link to your attendees booklet. It's inside the chat box. Get your link, and so that you get access to all of the free gifts. They got giveaways. You don't want to miss it. The AuthorTube Writing Conference is jammed packed. They've been going since yesterday and up until tomorrow. So we've got a weekend full. Make certain the link is in the chat box. Make certain you get it, and make certain you go and check out the next batch of speakers and presenters. And don't just take this information and keep it with yourself. Share it, spread love, give it to those who need. Amen. All right, you all, thank you so much for tuning in. We did great on time. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.